What's up, YouTube? What's going on? This your boy Evolution Tay coming at you again with another deck profile. This time it's going to be for the Indianapolis 2025 Regionals. Let's get to this deck profile. This is going to be pre-tournament deck profile, and then I'll do a post-deck profile list telling you how it did in the records and everything. It's going to be an hour-long video, so you do not want to sit at all. So without further ado, let's get into the deck profile. Alright, starting off with the deck profile, we keep it nice and based. You start off with two Dark Magicians. Obviously I had to give me this starter deck Yuki Dark Magician, by the way. Had this sitting in my bulk. Looks beautiful. Looks great on the back. We'll be doing a PSA on that card. And then we picked up the new copy of the, I call this the Loza Dark Magician right here. So two of these right here will do you justice. No three. Come on now. We're going to one Dark Magician Girl. In this deck profile, we are not going to add mana. Mana is just, for this format, I think mana is so weak. And with this deck profile and this archetype, I feel like this deck, mana doesn't do this deck justice at all. So that is it for the Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girls. Now let's get to the obvious meat and potatoes of the deck. 3 Magician Souls. I mean, we're in this at 3. I went ahead and picked up the other copy of the Magician Souls, the recent one of last year. Looks so sexy. Get you 3 of these, obviously. That's based. 3 Magician's Rod, obviously. Can't go wrong with 3 Magician's Rod. We switched it up this time. I don't know in my last profile if I did 2 or 3, but we're going to do 2 for this deck profile right here. Obviously, and I'll explain more on why I'm running 2 and I'm not running 3. Mainly because it's not a pure DM, obviously. So 2 of them. They're the Searches for Rod and Magician Souls. And then we'll get to the other monsters as well. Alright, we're going to be running 3 Dogmatic Ecclesias. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the other last ultimate rare, so I went ahead and settled for the platinum ultimate rare. They still looks great, so I run 3 of her in this deck. We're running the Dogmatica package. We're in a small one. This time we're going to come around and run fuller release instead of running 2, mainly because of this grind game of this deck doesn't require 2, but if it gets deep in a duel, I may reconsider running this at 2 instead of 1. But 1 is perfect. Don't need 2. Last and finally, for the monsters in this deck, we are still running the 1 Fallen Albaz. We don't run a Luber. We don't run 3 Fallen Albaz. We don't run 2. We run 1. Brand Infusions at 1. You run this at 1. And I need to get the ultimate rare. But yeah, let's get to the spells of this deck. We're gonna start off with the classic 1 circle. When we get new support, the Dark Magician community prays that we get better support for Dark Magician, circle might go to 2. And there's a card that used to be a 3 of in this deck. I put it down to 2, but there's an argument on why I put it down to 2, and I'll explain more later in the video. But this is a deck profile, so. Excuse me for what happened to 6 of Dark Magic. I'm getting a new fresh copy on Friday. This incident just happened on the card. Freaked me to freak out. I was pretty angry because I didn't have any more copies. Well, I thought I had 3, but I don't have any. So, run 1 Secrets of Dark Magic. Also, shout out to the sleeves, by the way. We're running not 1, but 2 Soul Servants. Since we're not running Mana or pure DM, we don't need 3. Don't know why I keep seeing people who run Hybrid Dark Magician run 3. I think 2 is a proper amount, not 3. I mean, crazy enough, it isn't as much of a brick, but I'd rather see another card in hand than see a Soul Servant. So, which sounds crazy, but that's just how I look at it. Run 1 Salvation. If it was pure DM, you run 2. We don't run Terraforming in this deck because we don't run Secret Village anymore. Because Y4s exist. Yeah, so we don't run Secret Village anymore in this deck. We're off the Secret Village Terraforming thingy-majigger. We're going to run 1 bond between teacher and student, and we're going to run 1 Dark Burning Magic. I want full value of the Dark Magician and Dark Magician Girl in this deck. This was one of those decisions that I had to make where I was like, do I want to put these in ooh, I just want to take them out and run a 41 card deck. And I was like, I don't think these two would hurt. But if I see them in hand and their bricks, and I have Illusion of Chaos in my hand, I guess they'll be Magician Souls fodder for drawing. Or Magician Souls, Dark Magician, Teacher, activate the bond between teacher and student. Set this obviously by special summon Dark Magician, girl pass turn, or make, you know, there's more with this card. This card is so broken in DM, and people don't run it. So, yeah, run the card. Replace my Eternal Soul because I have like 4 Eternal Souls. Run 1, don't run 2 because you're not running 2 circles. Now it's time for the other spells in this deck. Run 3 Preparation of Rites because you're running 2 illusions. The ratio is 3 prep, 2 illusions. Unless you're running pure DM, it'll be 3 illusions, 3 prep, but I think preparations, it's a brick. So run 3 prep. 1 Branded Fusion. Yeah, it's at 1. I was running it before it got put to 1, but yeah, running at 1. The sauce of the deck is Nadir Servant. Now, I've been having a lot of people giving me flack for this. I haven't been in the DM Discord lately because, you know, college student dealing with life and stuff. But while I was on vacation from Yu-Gi-Oh! For 8 months, I did some research on the Dear Servant, and I added something new to Dark Magician, and I think, well, I know, because I went crazy at my locals back-to-back weeks. Nadir Servant is so broken in this deck. Running at 3. I'll explain later why. 3 Nadirs, 3 Ecclesias, 1 Fleur-Elise. Simple ratio. My Jinzo dropped. Here, let's get to the hand traps of the deck. Running 3 Imperms in this deck. I went ahead and took out Solemn Judgment and Skill Drain. I feel like I'm not running Control DM. I'm not running pure DM / Control. So there's no point of putting that in my main. Run the 3 Imperms. I think Imperm is the strongest it can ever be. And especially in this format because Cross Out at 1. So Imperm is so powerful right now. So run Imperm at 3. We're going to leave this right up here. Y'all gonna cut me some y'all gonna get on me for this, but yes, Dark Magician's running Ash Blossom. He's running hand traps. This actually works. So we're running 2 Ash Blossoms, we're running a Ghost Bell in this deck, and we're running 1 Droll and Lockbird. Now I was thinking putting Droll in my side for the other 2, and then I looked at my side and I said I don't think I have the room for it. But if I'm convinced enough, I'll run Drone Lockbird at 2 in the main. 1 in the main and 2 in the side. If I'm convinced by my boys. Ghost Bell, it's insane right now. My locals keep telling me she's not. She's very insane. She's really insane. She stops Bestials. I need Ghost Bell to stop Bestials. Keep my DM in the grave. When I lose my DM out of my grave, I lose so many follow-ups. DM and Rod, Soul Servant, and Magician Souls. Those 4 cards do so much for this entire deck. It's insane. Drone Lockbird is locking up this meta so hard, running at 1. Mainly because we are running Cross Out at 1. That's why I'm running the hand traps. Otherwise, I would have ran 2 Ash, and I would have sided 2 Ghost Bells and 3 Drolls. And took out and then kept Cross Out and still, which I should have. I'm thinking ultimately I should have done, but I've been doing so well with this deck profile that you can't tell the difference of drawing hand traps with actual starter cards. And then Call By at 1, obviously, and the final and last card. Yes, we are running it. We are running the Schism. Boys, Shaddoll Schism. We are running Shaddoll, boys. We are running Shaddoll Schism. This card is freaking nuts. It's insane. It's the secret sauce. It's the goo. It's the how you doing model of the deck. So Schism, what it allows me to do is it allows me to special summon a fusion Shaddoll monster from my extra deck by banishing the materials listed from the fusion from the graveyard banishing it from the graveyard. From the graveyard banish it, yeah. And I'll get into my extra deck next. But actually, we'll do side deck and then we'll do extra deck. How about that? But all in all, this is the main deck. It took me like 10 minutes to explain the main deck, but there you go. Skip to 9:45 for the side deck. We're on to the side deck, and no, your eyes are not deceiving you. We're running Nibiru as a side card. We're running this card, not only 1, running at a 2. I cannot get my hands on a third nib. I should have got my hands on a nib on my off season, but things didn't work out the way I wanted to work out. But it is what it is. 2 nib is extremely powerful right now, and if you can do it before you get into King Caesar, against I'm pretty sure it's not Malice, it's the other deck. Ryziel, if you can stop them, Ryziel, from getting to the King Wave Caesar, great card against that deck. This card, Lancia, ran at 3, attacks cards like Malice, Blue Eyes, a lot of decks. Artifact Lancia targets. I just named the biggest ones, obviously, and Ryziel. Oh, also, I'm pretty sure Fiendsmith can do some banishing, if I remember correctly. It's not a lot, but it's something. Run Artifact Lancia 3. We'll save the last 3 at the end of it, because we had a very strong conversation about that card being at 3. We're gonna run Droplet in the side at 3. We took Droplet out the main for the gamble of the hand traps. If the hand traps actually put it in work, I will never main Droplet ever again until Dark Magician gets such insane support. The Droplet can be mained at 3, and we could drop Imperm down to 2, or we can put Soul Servant back to 3 and just change up the ratio a little bit. So run Droplet at 3, obviously very self-explanatory. Also, a little interaction that I don't think not a lot of people know of. Let me see if I can grab my Magician's Rod. Normal summon Rod. Activate Rod effect. This is going second, by the way. Let's say someone imperms you or effect bailers you, or does something to target and negate it. Activate Droplet. Use Rod as cost to negate the card effect itself, obviously. And you still get Rod's effect because it tributes it for cost. Well, it selects it and gets rid of it for cost. So, something to think about. You still get Rod's effect off of using Droplet. Running Cosmic Cyclone at 3. I think this card is really bad for time. But, well, I'll explain why I'm running the other cards at 3. But running Cosmic at 3, I need back row hate. And back row, people don't talk about back row hate, but it's pretty strong this season. Harpy Feather Duster, I'll get my expensive version when I head out of town, but I'm running this one for practice. I'll be practicing this deck a little more at home and on Master Duel and Omega and Dueling Book and Dueling Nexus. Last and finally, the last 3 cards, we're running Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood, and yes, I got my hands on one of 3 25-year anniversary. Yes, you see the 25 down there. Yes, she's such a beautiful card, bro. Great card. This card is specifically for time, people who use this card. I've been noticing, obviously it's just locals, but I've been noticing with this deck build and how persistent this deck is. I see myself going into time pretty damn often, and my time management is pretty strong. So I've been getting a lot better at bluffs and other stuff, and I think Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood will be a perfect card for my playstyle. Also, I just want to run the card, and I think it's a pretty okay card. It's not the best side, but it's an okay card. So that is it for my side deck, and we'll be going to the extra deck up next. All right, starting off with the extra deck, run Artemis. I think Artemis is probably gonna be go down in history of being the best Link 1. Until we get something like Spirit of Magician's Rod or Magician's Robe, like Spirit of Blue Eyes, whatever that card called, Spirit of Eyes of Blue, whatever that card is for Blue Eyes support. We need another Link 1, and Artemis is going to go down in history if we don't get great support as the best Link 1, unfortunately, but Artemis is just so free. Run her at 1. Running Dark Charmer still. Unfortunately, I had to make a tough decision. I wanted to put Lina in this deck. Matter of fact, let me check something, chat. Give me 1 second. So, with this discussion being said, Lina will be added to this deck. No ifs, ands, or buts. I just realized Ryziel was a light deck, and Blue Eyes is a light deck as well. I've been struggling to link climb in this deck because I don't have my flex in here no more. Now that lights are a lot more predominant, and I'm going to be seeing Blue Eyes more in regionals, more than my YCS that I'm going to be going to next month. Let me slow down my speaking. Run Lina run line it's mandatory. And I'm just gonna, while we're doing this live, I'm gonna cut one card from my extra deck while we are talking. We are gonna run IP. IP is so saucy now in this deck. I'm getting my new IP Friday. Don't worry about that. I'm getting my new cards Friday. These are temporary, like I said. Run the one IP. IP can go into 3 things in this deck, and I really think IP is so strong in this deck. And also, I'm running heavy linkage in this deck because D-Barrier exists and Spellbound exists, and I'll explain Spellbound later with the honorable mention cards that could have been in my side deck, but I don't have 3 of yet. But run IP. We'll leave IP here because we finally picked up the SP. Every DM player, calling all DM players, run SP. We don't have Verte no more. Verte is in my binder back there. I was just looking at my beautiful Vertes. Had 2 copies, by the way. We don't have Verte no more. Run SP. That's all I'm going to say. SP is great tech. You get IP into SP. And then SP gets an extra pop off the linkage. And you can do this during not being your turn, which is great because when you use her pop effect, you can't attack the turn you use the pop effect. That's why you would use IP going to SP. So run SP off the IP. Celine, I got me the new platinum one when I got the chance to get it. Beautiful card. Obviously extender. It's an extender. Abomination. What can I say? This card is freaking insanity. It was either between Topologic Bomber, Topologic Zoroboros, which I used over the weekend at locals, which it's really bad. I don't know why I did. And then Abomination, which Abomination was eating. So Abomination is great, especially off the IP. It's quite frankly indestructible. And then access code, obviously. The last linkage is access code. Now you're wondering, why do you only have IP? 2 IP target, the SP and the freaking Abomination. Don't IP into Axis unless you're desperate and you're down bad, and yeah, don't do that. It's because we're still running the Underworld Goddess in this deck. You thought I wasn't gonna run her, gotta run her. The IP, come on now. IP, you make IP off the Magician's Souls and the Magician's Rod, assuming you get both cards to get negated, but you still make it even. This is my rule with IP. If Rod and Magician's Souls get negated, you make SP. Excuse me, you make IP. If they both don't get negated, I said that wrong. My apologies. If they both get negated, just go into SP because you won't have the follow-ups that you're looking for with Rod and Magician's Souls off the draws and everything. If they do get negated, you just go IP, bro, and just go right into SP during their turn. You could do it. You could do IP for both scenarios, but that's just how I play the deck. Enough rambling. That's it for my linkages, and we're gonna get right into the fusions. And also, shout out to this Matt, and shout out to all my field centers that I could find, because I still have more, but shout out to my field centers and my custom-made Dragoon field center. I wish I still had his social media. I'll put it link in the description. Shout out to the guy who makes these field centers. We're going to start off with the fusion. The Dark Magicians run the card. For people who say, sorry, sipping my tea. Great tea. For people saying that Dark Magicians is so weak in this deck, deal with it. It's the boss monster of the deck. Respect it, regardless if it's good or great or bad or terrible. Respect it. Running at 1. It's not a pure DM. You wouldn't run it at 2. Running at 1. Running Mirror Jade in this deck alongside the Lebellion. We're not gonna run Albion. As much as I want to save the discard from my hand. I need to drop Dark Magician from my deck to the graveyard in order to make Dragoon or make Mirror Jade. Speaking of Dragoon, run the Dragoon, obviously. I just wanted to surprise you guys. Dragoon has not been summoned over the last 8 months. Because I don't summon him no more in this deck. Yeah. I was put under a challenge by one of my Yu-Gi-Oh! Trainers to go without using Dragoon. Because he says this deck has a lot of power without using him, even though I agree with him in a sense, but Dragoon is the towers of the deck. The last 2 cards because I'm going to cut one fusion, is Winda and the App Cologne. And yes, we picked up the Winda. We picked up the beautiful, gorgeous. Let me turn my flash off. Is this better? Nah, turn the flash back on. Yeah, look at this beautiful Winda, man. Beautiful Winda. You got the 25-year anniversary at the bottom down here. Such a beautiful card. Price check it, I don't remember, but beautiful Winda. And then App Cologne just came in the mail recently. This is so broken. Just Nadir serving dump. And then as Schism, this card off the App Cologne effect, and then Schism, banish, and then banish App Cologne, either Magician Souls, or sometimes if I'm down bad, I'll do Dark Magician Girl. I won't do Dark Magician, never. And then summon Winda, and I'll have full release in my hand, obviously off the Nadir Servant, because you're adding Ecclesia, search for full release, obviously. Almost ready to run Punishment in this deck, but I feel like I'm going to need my extra deck for turn 3 when I want to Link Climb. So run Winda. We're cutting Intis. I just added the card. I think Intis is so great. I think Intis is great. I just don't think, because I can make the argument, I think Lina's way more impactful for this deck. It does what this deck needs. It just does what it has to do in the moment at the time. Lina does it whether I brick, whether I'm in a scruffle, whether I have Ecclesia and Magician Souls in hand and not a rod. I can make a Lina and still climb. It's just, there's just things to think about. And if it gets destroyed, guess what? If my Ecclesia was special summon this turn and I didn't normal summon rod, she gets destroyed. She could add she could add 15, a monster that's 15 attack and lower from my deck to the hand. AKA, just had another Ecclesia. Ecclesia can be normal summon or special summon, as long as there's another extra deck. Is there an extra deck monster on the field? That's what makes Ecclesia so broken in this deck, and that's why she's at 3. That's why Lina's here. That's why this is gone. So I'm gonna replace the sleeve right now as we speak. Lina is officially in the lineup for Dark Magician. This Dark Magician profile. And that will be it for the deck profile itself. Let's put this to the side. Shout out to this mat, like I said in my field singers, and the setup that I had going into this deck profile. I'm a little late, Dark Magician family. The deck profile is over. I'm going to talk about a few others in this video. You can either skip it or you can watch it. You are more than welcome to. I'll make sure this video is no longer than 40 minutes or 35 minutes. I'll do my best. But this is the deck profile. Shout out to Loza. I forgot to make the shout out to him because I'm gonna send this to him, and I want him to give me his opinions on it. I know he is going to, no matter what. But that's the king of DM. So shout out to Loza and a bunch of other of his homies. Join the Discord for Dark Magicians. I'm gonna see if I can put the link down in the description. Actually, I won't be able to, but yeah, I won't be able to, but yeah, let's get on to the other tech that I was going to run with this deck, but I ended up not doing so. Ghost, Ogre, and Snow Rabbit. I see no use in this card unless I'm going against something like Pure Kashtira or I'm going against Toy Box. This is why I see this card being really powerful, but I think with the new support, people are taking Toy Box out of their decks, because Toy Box can get shut down pretty damn convincingly and easily. So this is why we're not running Ghost Ogre. We're not running Effect Veiler because it's just, quite frankly, one of the weakest cross-outs targets for me. Because I know Blue Eyes can search this and they can activate this. I'm very, very, very aware, but I can play through Effect Veiler. I'm not worried about that. That's what I'm not worried about. Spellbound, being at 3, this card is insane. This card basically says, all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls cannot be tributed or used as materials for a fusion, synchro, exceeds, or link summon until the end of this turn. This card is insanity. This card counters the entire meta. It's not on my side because I don't have it at 3 yet. I'm going to have it at 3 for my YCS. And I'll replace something in my side deck that doesn't work, which will most likely be Spooky Dogwood. But If Spooky works, we'll just take out something else. So Spellbound is going in my side next deck profile. Solemn Judgment. It's not going to be in the side nor the main. We're not running control. DM. And I'm not running Secret Village no more, so I have to protect everything. And if they normal summon Effect Veiler or normal summon a Spellcaster, no. And also in time, this card is dog shit. So we're not running this card. Excuse my language. We're not running this card. Great card overall. This card is such a powerful trap. It's just in time. I've seen many videos and many duels where people just lose the time because of this card. So Solemn Judgment is not being ran. No skill drain. I can't confidently say I want it at 1, mainly because it's not a control deck, and also it's at like, come on, bro. Like, not many people can play through it, obviously, but if I don't see Illusion to Chaos in hand to Magician Soul send this to draw or Resolution, there's no point in running this. If you didn't notice, Soul Servant, this ain't gonna be in the side, but I just wanted to mention Soul Servant was taken out of my deck at 3 to 2 because I want to see how this deck does without Soul Servant being at 3. This card is so great. It is the... What did Loza say? Loza said this has the highest ceiling for DM. If DM is given... Being that DM is given more support, proper more support, but it has such a low... it has like... I forgot what he meant by low something, but I don't want to butcher his words, but Soul Servant, I don't see it being good at 3. Like, for my deck, personally. Troll and Lockbird. I don't have it in 2 in my side. I'm trying to find my other Troll, but I don't have it at 2 in my side, unfortunately. Mainly because I felt like the other side cards were going to be more impactful. This could bite me in the butt because Droll is being used everywhere. But I feel like going into the next few tournaments, people are going to be way more prepared for Droll and Lockbird. So don't just rely on Droll and Lockbird and just guzzle Droll and Lockbirds, you know what, down your throat. This card can be countered. And most decks can play, not most, but most smart players can play through Droll. Fun fact. Force Burial was going to be in my main, but I took it out. Might put it back in my, yeah, it's the other sleeve. It's not my official tournament sleeves. It's my practice sleeves. This could bite me in the butt, not putting Force Burial back in the main, mainly because I don't want to see bricks in my deck at all. I really want to put this in my main. It will make my card a 44 card deck. I'll run a test hand with this one more time with this deck profile. If it works, I'll come back to the next video and tell you I used this card in my main. Because I really want this in my main. And 44 cards in DM don't sound too freaking bad. Especially with the hand traps. But Fool's Burial dumps Dark Magician Girl, gets her out of the way. And I want to see Dark Magician in hand if I have... Only if I have Magician's Rod and Magician's Souls do I only want to see Dark Magician in hand as a brick. So... Great card. Fool's Burial is such a great card. Solemn Strike. I was going to run 2 strikes and 2 judgments with skill drain, and then I just thought to myself, that's so dumb. That's so dumb. Like, in a perfect world where I could stop him from my opponent from doing everything under Dragoon and Secret Village, this goes burr. But since White Forest exists, it's just, in my eyes, it's obvious. It's not good. Obviously, when we talked about that. Dark Ruler No More. So the reason this card is so funny because I had to choose between doing Dark Ruler No More and skipping my damage for the turn. It negates all face-up monsters your opponent controls. They cannot respond. Let me see. For the rest of neither player can activate card effects. Monster effects in response to this card's activation. What sucks about Dark Ruler is it doesn't say neither player can activate card effects in response to this card. If it said that, people will run this over Droplet. In the side. Don't know too much about the main unless you're running the Dragon deck, Tempai. But I don't know, bro. They can just activate a trap card to chain to this, right? And then they can chain 3 their ABC Dragon or chain 3 any monster to negate. To try to, like, target one card in the field and negate the effect. It's so stupid. I have a secret for the next Dark Magician deck I'm gonna make. It has something to do with this. Yeah, we ended up picking up the package, but we're gonna run it at some point. It's gonna be in a different DM deck, but that's for a whole nother time. I think that's it. I'm looking at my container to make sure I didn't forget anything. I might bust this out at the tourney, this DM, but it wasn't the 25th anniversary DM, so I mean, so like I guess, but like, such a beautiful card art. I don't like this. Excuse me, it's such a beautiful card rarity. I don't think this card art is all that personally, but that's basically it, chat. Thank you all for tuning into this deck profile. I've been wanting to make one for a while, and I've been wanting to come back to Yu-Gi-Oh, but honestly, college and life has been happening. It's been causing me to be away from Yu-Gi-Oh, and I am finally back. DM squad, stand up. I'm going back to regionals to claim the title of going back to WCQ. And then after WCQ, by the grace of God, or whoever you believe in, we will rise above with Blue Eyes and their support, and we will go to Worlds with this deck. I'm extremely delusional with Dark Magician. As much would like to think, DM, most people will say DM ain't making it, but I believe it can with a perfect pilot. So, thank you all for watching this video. You guys are the greatest. You guys have yourselves a great night, or whatever you are. Have a great morning. Have a great day. Drink, stay hydrated, eat, and as always, Evolution Tay, signing off. Peace.